Welcome,
I'm gonna
everyone.
keep that in there.
You are? Or you're not? Oh,
Of course I am. No, I mean, it's not like the audio people will know, but the YouTube.
the YouTube people will know.
YouTube people will know.
Check out our YouTube if you want to know and you're only listening through audio. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Earth 118 podcast. It is I, Vivian, here with Jasmine.
So Regal, it is I. Oh my God, Regal. I'm sorry.
Different podcast. Different
podcast. I apologize for the chaotic energy today. Vivian is out of town, and so thusly the only time that she could record was great for her, like 10 o'clock in the morning for her, but for me, bump butt crack of the devil's asshole, I guess. Yay, 3-hour time difference. Huzzah.
2 hour.
It's 3, isn't it? Oh no, you're in Chicago.
Chicago.
In Chicago, we got that Chicago pizza. Anyway, She-Hulk.
She-Hulk episode 4, which, you know what? This episode, I think, is my favorite so far.
It's funny. I was gonna say that too. I was truly gonna say that. Sorry, I have to move my flowers because they're in the way of my mic. I was gonna say that She-Hulk episode 4 was my favorite as well. And then I started researching. And it's crazy because I'll always sit there and be like, oh, this is my favorite episode. There's nothing that's going to break it down. And there was a few things. Your TikTok, for one.
I was going to say, I feel like you're referencing the whole...
It's funny. I wasn't. There's another thing about it that yes, that's part of it's like twofold. So yes, the Mephisto of it all, which of course we're going to get to, but also... I know that there's a lot of negative commentary on She-Hulk as it is, just misogynistic stuff. So I've tried to push that to the side. However, I do follow a couple of other female podcasts, and one in particular was very adamant on the fact that this episode, and really the subsequent episodes beforehand, She-Hulk has no plot. It's just all Tinder. It's just all, like, I guess the best way to describe it is there's no overarching purpose to this show. It's just one-off episodes that have no substance to them. And it's like, yeah, fun things happen in the episodes, but as a whole, like, is it enough to really be considered substance? You know? And I'm not saying that I agree with them, but it is thought-provoking. And it did make me have to reevaluate, and I think I will by the end of our diatribe, I will tell you what my new ranking of the episode is, because right now it's kind of up in the air.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember when our first episode, I kind of made
absolutely not, I don't.
Right, it was so long ago. But I made a similar comment of like, I would still like to know where the show is going, and you showed concern because you're like, well, you've seen 4 episodes. Why are you saying that after having 4 episodes? And it's not that I'm not enjoying the episodes at all, because each episode I feel like it's very fun. There's different elements in it that I think are like funny. So I'm enjoying it, but I'm still on that road of
here's my true thing. I think that She-Hulk, and I've only seen 4 episodes. Now we've all caught up now.
We're caught up. I don't know anything anymore.
Right. We're all caught up now. I think She-Hulk is that kind of show that benefits from a 2 episode at a time release. I don't think that 1 episode is enough for you to feel grounded in what the show really is. And I think releasing 2 episodes not only takes you on a journey, but it makes those ending beats worth more, in my opinion, at least. But I kind of agree. I don't feel like, because, oh my God. And this episode, this prior episode, episode 4, which is titled, because I definitely prepped this beforehand, is this not real magic? Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the first episode where that, what do you call it? Not buddy cop, but that situational lawyery type show finally came in, because I thought that that's what this show was going to be, a bunch of one-off episodes, and kind of. I thought, again, that also was going to be that with the Blonsky case, the People versus Emil Blonsky. I thought that's what that was going to be, but then we threw in, like, past Hulk and, like, the jokey Edward Norton, like, all this kind of, like, silliness. So I still don't know where this show is. I don't know what the show is. The structure.
So I'm going to pull this up. But I follow Dan Slott on Twitter, and he is one of the original creators of She-Hulk. And he tweeted, oh my gosh, I hope I can find it. I thought I saved it. But he tweeted what his formula is. Oh, I found it. For when he would sit down and write a She-Hulk comic. Because a lot of people, he was basically commenting on the fact that he's heard so many people say, this isn't She-Hulk. Have you even read a comic about the TV show? And he is a creator. He's the person who's written these comics. Sure. So his comment on it was, in regards to this episode specifically, Dan Slott said, dude, come on, this episode, that episode was the She-Hulkiest She-Hulk ever. That episode was She-Hulk 101. They nailed it. This is how most of my issues read. And so this is what a typical She-Hulk comic follows. It's Jen dealing with personal problems. A Marvel guest star needs her legal help. Wacky courtroom antics ensue. Jen's problem requires her attention. The legal case leads to superhero action. Jen and the guest star team up. The legal case is solved, end on a soap opera cliffhanger. Which I do think each episode has kind of followed that formula similarly.
I don't think so. I think episode 3 started to set that up with Emil. But yeah, like I said, this is the first episode. Episode 4 is the first time we've seen that lawyery kind of sitcom-y thing. But I think that the issue that a lot of people are facing is we have episode 1 and 2, which is more a regular kind of Marvel-y television show, you know.
I think that was like introducing her into MCU and her place.
And you're not wrong. But I think people need to now readjust. But also, we were thrown a lot of things in those, like, it's it's struggling to be a situational lawyer show and a regular Marvel show. And those things are constantly competing because you have these one-off situations that are being, and you can do it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's kind of struggling on the foundation of which one is more important. And while also throwing in all these little Easter eggs that we're playing, there's just so many elements in there, and it's just hard to balance what it is that we're supposed to be feeling, garnering, and getting, because we're constantly conflicted with what we know and what they're giving us. You know, because in this episode, we got Mephisto sightings, we've got Madisynn, we've got Wong, we've also got them kind of re-talking about the people who attacked her, because we don't actually know who did that. You've got finally Titania coming back-ish, and she's now, I mean, it's setting up the next episode, which is the copyright issues. So is it still a lawyer show? Is it still a, you know, a regular Marvel beat show? It's all of the above, I guess. But we're just struggling to figure out how we should be watching it versus just watching it.
Yeah, I agree with that, because it has been a lot of different elements at play, and a lot of it is like, oh, I'm taking this in, now I'm taking this in, but it's like, now what do I do with all the information I was just given? Like, where does it, not necessarily where does it connect, but like you said earlier, what is this grand purpose?
Right, and the issue is they're handing us all of this stuff. Truly, they're handing us all of this stuff, and we're sitting here like, okay, what do we do with this? And you have some Marvel fans and execs being like, oh, you don't do anything, just appreciate it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just holding a basket of shit. What do I do with, like, don't hand me a basket of information that I can clearly build a puzzle with and just tell me, oh, you're just appreciate it, just let it happen. Let what happen, my guy? The puzzle's not gonna build itself. It bothers me to my core. It's like the Mephisto of it all. It's fucking brought it back myself. But it is that. It's you are putting flies on the wall. Made a deal with the devil. Like all of this shit. But it's just watch. Just what? No,
but it's fun. I think they're fun. Like I find joy in not like in hearing those like little, whether that was an Easter egg or just a funny joke or something to just throw in there to add to like Madisyn's situation and character. I still think it's like, ooh, what could that mean? Or like, okay, we don't necessarily know exactly the full story behind this, but like maybe it'll come. I would love to see Madisynn get her own, maybe not her own series, although I would love that too, but like shorts, like Madisynn shorts, where she explains these stories of like, so this is what happened when I was caught up with this goat devil.
Like,
and it's just
her
like,
and Wong just sitting there like having a drink or whatever.
Yes, like it's just like a little 3-minute episode of like her telling Wongers this story.
You know what's crazy? I think about just the actress, you know, the character. No, not the character, the actress. who came in. She auditioned for this role, this Marvel role, and there are some Marvel roles where it's like a one-off if you're not going to be thought about it again. And I wonder if she was on set, you know, just doing her little Madisynn thing, if she ever thought, like, she's got a little emoticon on Twitter. She's that cool.
On poster now. I have it pulled up.
They've been doing that for everyone, like every new character. But even still, I think that's so interesting that she walked in as this party girl and now she is Madisynn of the MCU, you know, 2 N's and a Y, but not where you think it is.
I made a similar comment while watching it, like, because at this point I've watched it I think 3 times through.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what, this, like you said, this actress probably came on set, this probably wasn't as big of a role as it was meant to be, but she did the damn thing and made this a prominent character and made sure she stood out. And now, like you said, she's Madisynn of the MCU. And now people are not demanding, but a lot of people have
there are people demanding.
A TV show. So shout out to Patty Guggenheim, I think is how you pronounce her last name. I apologize if I butchered it, but she did amazing in that role, and I think it's really fun.
I do think it's an adorable, real role. I mean, I've talked about it a lot about these. I would love to see real people dealing with this, and I love that it's been 15, almost 20 years now, depending if you're a blipped or not, of people in the MCU who have to deal with like magic, and even having this debate of, you know, what is real magic? You know, you cannot hold, what do you call that? The whole freaking case. You cannot, what the fuck am I saying? Lockdown. Basically, you can't lock down magic. You cannot, yes, that whole, the whole Wong's whole argument. You cannot, oh, there's a word. It's,
Own? Like own
kind of, but it's what the court case is, yes. But that, you know, it's Madisynn has been around magic, real or mystical, her entire existence at this point, or at least enough of her existence to where she can have a drink and feel comfy walking into the fire hole. You know, it's just another day for these characters, and I love that. I think that's probably what made this my most exciting episode for me, because I saw real people dealing with heroes and superheroes and the consequences therein.
Which I thought of you too, because I was like, you know what, this show that Jasmine keeps saying would be great, of seeing the real people of the MCU like go through, maneuver this world. I feel like Madisynn would be such a good transition to a TV show like that. Like, have her be the first episode and then we see other people throughout different seasons.
I want that. I want it so bad. I do. I think we just have to start on TikTok. You just got to start little TikTok videos of like everyday
people. And then speaking of the show, the fire hole she walked through. So we have Donnie Blaze, this magician character, not an actual mystic arts, you know.
But he
is, but he's not trained, he's not well practiced.
Yes.
So he's turned into this David Blaine like ripoff in the MCU. A lot of people, which I actually didn't catch because I'm not too educated on Ghost Rider, but I guess Ghost Rider is Johnny Blaze. And so a lot of people were wondering whether or not Donnie Blaze was the introduction of Ghost Rider, if this was a new version of him, if they were doing with the name. Yeah, I was like, I feel like this is just that for me is David Blaine, like the DB magician joke. Yes. But that is interesting how they chose to choose a name that was so similar to an existing MCU character.
No, it's not. It's a play off of the magician. That's not fair. Like, there's only so many punny names for a guy whose head lights up on fire, okay? It's no. Come on. No.
So no Ghost Rider.
No Ghost Rider. Let's please, can we just one fucking thing at a time, bro? You got Mephisto. Can we just leave it at that? So then who do you think the goat was? Who did she give her 6 drops of blood to? I don't care. It's not relevant. Anyone. And she may have given it to one of the little flying bats. Like, who gives a fuck? It's not Madisynn's show yet. It was Wongers. Okay? This was all about Wongers. And I think it's cute but it also could have just been a drunk slur. You know, she may have given her blood to a wall for all we knew. We don't know. We don't know. We don't
but
know.
I do think, I'm not gonna lie, I watched this episode, I never once thought Mephisto, or I wasn't
It could have been Wanda for all we fucking know. Like,
actually, that is what I assumed at first. I thought she came from oh my god,
Comatage?
I thought she came from Comatage because of, you can see the background and it looks like what we saw in Doctor Strange Multiverse of
Madness. I was gonna say that about was it this episode?
Last episode.
Maybe the first time. Did I say that?
You did. You texted me.
Oh my god! I was like, because I texted a bunch of people that. I was like, guys, I'm pretty sure that when Wong comes in the first time, it's right after the mirror battle with Wanda, which is what. But it was in the Emil Blonsky case. It's why he was late.
He's late to the courtroom.
He's late to the courtroom because he was dealing with Wanda. He was fighting Wanda, and because when he like does his little hand wavy thing. In the background, it looks, but then again, it's the same. That's his room, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I thought about that, and I was like, when you sent me that text, I think I was half asleep, to be honest.
Everyone was. I sent that at like 2 a.m. in the morning. I was drunk myself, and I sent that text. I was like, I was watching it at like midnight. I was like, oh, I have to tell everyone.
I know you. I was like, I woke up to that, and I'm like, what was she doing awake? But
I was everything. That's what I was doing.
I watched Multiverse of Madness on my flight, and trying to connect the dots there, because I'm like, okay, if he did show up in that court case, when would it happen? But it just doesn't make sense.
It makes sense.
When would he have had the time?
That's it.
Tied up. And then when they got up to the actual where the ruins are, like I almost said the name of my friend Taja, Kamertaj. When they were up there, or not that, when they got to where the whole
Wanda's temple
happened, she literally threw him off the mountain. He didn't have time to come watch Sopranos with Madisynn.
You don't know that.
So maybe
Wong has time for everything.
Interweave, but I feel like Wongers have too much going on.
I do believe that after the mirror battle, there was time. He did the mirror battle. He came over and was like, I'm so sorry I'm late. I gotta go. And then after he came back, all that stuff happened. But he didn't drink. I don't think he drank, because all of the multiverse stuff happened in like 3 days. That was all very quick stuff. So and the She-Hulk stuff is over like, a week and a half. So it's plenty of time for him to deal with the Wanda crisis and then come over and watch some Sopranos after he's done teaching the kiddies. Madisynn's there, best friendo. It's great.
You know what? If that's the case, then I would love to know Wong's secret to like stress.
Time management.
He seems so stress-free watching The Sopranos.
Madisynn. He's got his goat milk or yak milk. They're drinking some. I was gonna say Midoriyan yak, but that is nasty. That's like the green and the white. No, gross. With some rum chata, maybe some rum chata and yak's milk. Yum yum.
Yum yum. Well, you know what? Even prior to Madisynn, he was like jamming, ready to sit down on his couch, put on an episode. It's like, how are you that chill, knowing that there's this devil witch walking around?
I was gonna sit there and be like, I wonder how he even gets signal up on that mountain. But
he's watch the show, right?
Well, he's a master of the mystic arts. He probably doesn't need. He just waves his hands and it's there.
He's got mystic art privilege.
Okay, so where do you think the episode is going to go from here?
Well, they dropped a new trailer for the show, so we know Matt Murdock is on his way.
Yes.
And they kind of set up the last second of the episode.
You said that, and my brain, because we all have these intrusive thoughts. You said Matt Murdock is on the way, and I said I doubt it. And in my mind did a whole flip of, I bet we're not even going to see Tatiana or Titania and Matt Murdock till the very last episode.
There's no way, because
what do you mean? They showed Tanya. What the fuck can I say?
Titania.
Fine. The fucking fairy witch. They showed the Queen of the Fairies. They showed the Queen of the Fairies in the very end of the first episode to act as if she were a major player, which she is. I mean, they got her doing promos in Hollywood. And she's not even in this show.
Look, I feel like, okay, Titania, maybe we won't see for, I'm going to say another 2 episodes, but.
That's wild. That would be episode 6. That'd be the downhill slope of this fucking season. That's some major Tate behavior. I'm so sorry.
I feel like this could go one of 2 ways. It's either going to be next episode we get Matt Murdock, because it's very clear that Jen needs a really good lawyer at the end of episode 4.
Oh, you're right. She does need a lawyer.
She does, because she has the whole trademark thing. So who is she going to go to? She can't be her own lawyer. She's going to go to Matt Murdock, the next best thing in the MCU.
We're not going to see him till at least the Like, I think this next episode, in my opinion, I'm so sorry to cut you off, ish. But I think I would agree. Yes, she's going to need Matt Murdock. But I promise you, I hope that episode 5 is going to be, I need a lawyer. Who am I going to find? So it's the whole episode is, oh, I need. And then episode 6 will be, I have. And then Tatiana can come back in episode 7, because now we have to fight. So the main villain won't even.
Jen wouldn't next episode go find Titania and confront her and be like, what's going on? Why are you trademarking?
I think that'd be great. I think that'd be wonderful. But I could also see them being like, her just fighting in the media. You know, like her trying to get to Fairy Queen, and like something stops her, and then she's just fighting via the media. Like she doesn't actually see her.
Yeah. But then we might see her in media, because there's no way the public isn't going to pick up on this and then have an interview with Titania, who I'm assuming is going to jump on the like, she's going to do an interview and be like, yeah, I'm trademarking this name because blah, 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 blah. So at least we'd see her in the media, but that would still be her in the episode.
Yeah. Semantics. We love it.
I have high hopes.
I don't know. There are things that I want from this episode, and the only reason I wanted them was because they set up those expectations in the first episode. And I'm curious.
That's where I think the story is going, is going to be this big court battle where she has Matt as her lawyer, and it's going to be against Titania. And then we still have the wrecking crew to deal with, those thugs that pop up.
This is Flyboy and Metal Arm all over again, where you don't actually know what the main conflict is, and like the main conflict isn't actually the main conflict, and it doesn't matter. Like Titania is Carly. She's Carly. She matters, but she doesn't matter.
A little bit, but I feel like she is going to matter now. Like she's gonna have
kind of like how Carly mattered, and then she didn't.
But anyway, I was saying I want to know where Jen's new suit comes in. The white suit that she's been like promoting in, the She-Hulk suit. Because as of right now, She-Hulk isn't superhero. Like, wouldn't need a superhero suit.
Yeah.
And so and considering the story this is following, where it's like, okay, she's battling for her legal name. It's more so Jen being a lawyer. So it's like, okay, when is she going to need this suit? How is it going to come into play?
It's when she puts the 2 pieces together. Because another part of this episode, sorry, but to answer your question, at least in my opinion, another part of this episode that was brought up a lot was the idea of a separation or a dichotomy between Jen and She-Hulk. And we saw that in all of her dates and in her Tinder dating app, just going back to that beginning thing that we talked about. And someone in the cosplay community really put it in perspective, and they were like, it's incredible that we are wanted when we're in cosplay, but when we're just sitting around like how I am today, just right out of the shower, like blah, like we are more desirable when we are in cosplay, playing an aspect or an idea of someone's fantasy, i.e. She-Hulk. You know, there's She-Hulk, it's the mighty She-Hulk, this green giant beauty. That is more desirable than the actual well-developed, just slightly less beautiful, quote unquote, versions of ourselves, or like when we're out of cosplay. Yeah. And it's hard I think She-Hulk even said it's like an ego bruiser for Jen to see that She-Hulk is more desirable. So I think, to answer your question, when those 2 aspects of Jen and Hulk come together and it becomes one identity, I think that's when we're going to see her kind of come into her own.
Yeah. I mean, I think so, because you had mentioned that earlier too, like in a different podcast of this is going to eventually end up with her like merging the two, not in a Professor Hulk way, but in a just like acceptance way.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense. I'm still excited to see when this suit is going to come into play and like why she needs it. But
yeah, yes. I am curious though. I guess for me, the thing that I'm still holding out for, just to round out all my thoughts, is while I understand that this is a lawyery show and the big battle is probably going to be in a courtroom, I know that there is also going to be a big battle, you know, because she is also big battle. And so I guess what I'm looking forward to is making that battle make sense. And I'm hoping that in these next few, oh man, do you do Be Real?
No. Is it time to be real?
Yeah.
Let's be real.
I'm going to be real in the middle of this podcast as we're wrapping it up. You're free to say your thoughts while I do this. I just need like 30 seconds. Sorry. Okay. Oh, wait. Let me. There we go. We've just been real.
We've just been real. Yeah, no, I haven't downloaded it. I'm late on the bandwagon.
That's okay.
But Be Real, if you'd like a sponsor.
Hey, Be Real, sponsor us. Sponsor.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, I lost my train of thought because you were talking.
I'm so sorry. All I mean to say is I hope that there is a big battle. I hope that there's a big battle, and I hope that there's a reason for the big battle.
Yeah, and I'm sure, I mean, I feel like we already had a mini one in the courtroom that was more so fighting, and it was Titania versus She-Hulk. So maybe they will have their second go at it towards the end of the episode, or we'll have the Wrecking Crew come back and we'll see everything come together with that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out who their big boss is.
Maybe it's the girl from the second episode that's actually her arch.
Yes, she's still supposed to be in this too. So I think there's a lot of loose strings right now, but I'm eager to see how they're all going to tie together, as I have been with all the other TV shows.
Agreed.
Yeah,
that's all I've got. Those are my hopes, dreams, and expectations. So.
And now that I'm
wait. What is your quote of the episode?
Oh, we already know. I think we already know what it is.
No, I'm asking.
It is from our queen, Madisynn. It's spelled Madisynn with 2 N's and an Y, but it's not what
you think it is.
That was literally my favorite thing from this whole.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my quote of the day. If you guys have one, anything you resonated with, then please drop a comment, let us know, because I would love to read those.
I think mine is probably just it being an ego bruiser. You know, that's going to be a real ego bruiser. Because it is. It's like, that's happened to me before, where you put like your normal photos on your dating app, and then you put like, I put all my, like I did that once. I think when I went to, where did I go? Paris, I did that. I put like my normal photos first and then like wasn't garnering anything. And then I put like all my movie premiere red carpet photos up, and it was like, so. And
then suddenly people are interested, which I think, again, this show made a good commentary on that. I didn't even cross my mind as a cosplayer to make that connection, but that is so true. And just, I'm glad someone was able to resonate with that and pointed out that that's an actual struggle too. Like not even for someone who like a Hulk that isn't real, but it still translates into real life for these people who are cosplayers and do this for a living and do it for fun. Like it's an ego bruiser.
It's an ego bruiser. Yeah. But anyway, super excited for the next episodes. And
yes. I was going to say, now I'm all caught up. So now I don't know what to expect next episode. And I'm actually excited about that I don't know, because now I like have it to look forward to.
And now we have to actually like sit there and analyze and research like us normal people.
Yeah, I guess. But we will talk to you guys next week, and I hope you all have a beautiful weekend or week or whatever day you're watching this on. Have a good day.
Just have a good day. Or don't. You know, we don't want to tell you what to do.
You're right. Who am I?
All right. Hasta pasta, guys.
Bye.